Gupta has an endless list of awards. He has been decorated 4 times with the President of India medal. Professor O.P. Gupta has published and presented 169 technical arbitration papers and international and national level. Now I am requested to sir, please take the session. Sir.
Okay. Good afternoon to everyone. The topic of today is very important. You know, the construction industry is the only source of economy in the country. The employment source in the construction industry is the only source. If the construction industry fails, the economy of the country will fail. That is why the government of India is taking more steps to ensure that the investment of the foreigners is here. International people are not coming because our Arbitration Act was not so strong. In 1940, the Act was in 3 parts. One was 1940 Act of the Arbitration. Second was Protocol and Conventional Act 1937. And third was the Foreign Awards Recognition and Enforcement. That was 1961. So everybody, international level, they want that if they come to India, how they will settle their accounts. Whatever they do, it will be very difficult to settle in India. They always wanted to go for international dispute in foreign country. But India thought of it and changed it 1996 Act. What was the 1996 Act? It was changed and it was completed. All the three. Arbitration Act was there and foreign investment was there. The part two, it was foreign investment. Foreign national awards were there. All the disputes were to be covered under that. Now, there was a 1996 Act, and it came. The purpose was only that we have built up arbitration strength. But the international level was not satisfied, and we saw they were still not coming here. The reason was very simple. The court intervened was more. Again, there was a dispute. Sometime that dispute was settled by the Supreme Court of India. What was that dispute? People were asking, 1996 Act has come and notified on 28th, and how it will come up. What is the date of implementation? The question was very simple. It was not only that it was notified on 19th August 1996, but thereafter, ordinance was done on 5th January 1996. Supreme Court settled these issues, said implementation date will be 25th, because the ordinance was ultimately transferred on that date of, and that date was 25th. And the ordinance was there, though the notified was subsequently, but it will be with the date of 25th. Here again, we saw that there was international people were not coming up, or investment. India, being a developing country, the people were not having and he created confidence in Indian. Then what happened? The 1996 Act was again changed, and 2015 came up. In 2015, what they did it, the date was 23rd October, 15th. It was the date of implementation, and the act was to make it fast. No interference of the court. The international level was satisfied. They came to India, and investment was increasing day by day. Our India was only, they know it, till there is dispute resolution. Wherever there is a construction, there will be a dispute. When the disputes are here, the people want the dispute should be settled. 2015 Act was there. Interference was less, and it was decided in 2015 that whatever the act is there, the people also follow it. They laid down the time that within 1 year it should be decided. The people in the arbitration, they never decided within 1 year. They were taking years and years. Once I know, there was one case before me, it was being dealt by an honorable justice of the High Court. 4 years it was there, and the parties were not cooperating. The arbitrator, or whatsoever may be the reason, it could not be settled. Ultimately, that case came to me. Now the question arises, it is the parties who have to decide who will be the arbitrator. You know, in arbitration, an arbitrator is a judge. An arbitrator is a judge of his own code, whose judgment cannot be challenged in any court of law. When I say like this, the people do not agree. Why? Your court judgment, whatever the award you have made as an arbitrator, it cannot be set aside. Because in your case, it is the parties who decide who will be the arbitrator, who will be their judge. Whereas in the court, it is the judge who decide who, or chief justice, who will be the judge in your case. So there is a lot of difference. Here, the party has selected it. So the man who has been appointed by both the parties, his judgment cannot be challenged. And it effect. Recently, I have so far given a number of judgments in my career prior to my retirement, when I was a seaman as a chief engineer, and thereafter my retirement, I gave the judgment. Not even a single judgment has failed. The reason is very simple. The arbitrator must be competent. How the arbitrator is competent? He knows the laws. You know, the engineers, how they can know the law? Engineers know all the laws. Because it is a construction law. You are better judge in construction. You may be the engineer, you may be the law graduate, you may be in any form, in any discipline. If you come to CIDC, we trained a man who is better than a judge. Because he is conversant with the law, he is conversant with the judge. If a man is an advocate, if he comes to me, I will train him only in engineering, construction industry. I will tell him what is the construction law. What is the contract law? How it was made up. And if you are only law graduate, you are only judge. You cannot understand the things. Provided the judge is also conversant with the law, conversant with the construction. I know recently I have given a judgment which is so strong. Earlier, I was challenged in the court that I should not be appointed because I am from the same department from where the case is leads. But later on, that appeal was not accepted when I placed before the High Court that I am fully competent and I know the law. I know the construction industry, each and every because I am an engineer and arbitration law. I have trained myself in arbitration. Not only that, I also raised the issues that I know how to deal with the security, whatever the problem in the security, whatever the problem aside, I can deal with it. I can deal with the situation when the damage is caused by the bombardment during war, after war, and in the precaution. Because I'm a trained from not only but from Military College of Engineering to Pune, National Defense College, and number of various colleges I've attended where I have learned the law. I'm trained to deal with the unexploded one also. In all weapon trainings, the, the issues were then I was reconfirmed and my appointment was confirmed. Thereafter, there was a one issue. The judge was 4 years, it remained with him. And it came to me after 4 years when he said that he do not want to continue in this. Then I was the arbitrator in that case after clearance from the High Court. What happened? In the arbitration law, it is clear the arbitrator can give the interest for the period of the amount which has been held up by the department. Here, there were two issues. One was the dispute that 4 years have come up, and within 4 years, I have to give the award of interest. Interest is a damages. If you want to take a money from someone and he is not giving it, then you claim for interest. But the interest depends upon the arbitrators. There are three issues in award of interest. One is period. It is 4 years. I may give it for 4 years. I may give less period. Second is rate of interest. The people mostly claim 40%. I may give 24%. And there is a law which has now changed. Earlier in 1960, 96, it was there 18%. Minimum interest. If I have not stated what interest will be allowed, it will automatically get 18%. It was under the Act. So I have to say 80% or less. 80% was not mandatory. It is my will. I may give it 5%, may not give it 20%. Then what happened? I gave him only 9%. He said to the court that the arbitrator had given me 9%, not even 18%. Moreover, court said, okay, we are sorry, we cannot do anything because he is a judge of his own court. And in case there are two views, now hear it. In case there are two views, one is before the judge, he says he can give this like this. And second is, I have given this. High Court has no jurisdiction. In case there are two views, two interpretation of the word, then whatever I have interpreted is final and cannot be challenged, whether it is legal or not. So, arbitrator is a superman. Secondly, it was a period, okay, but the period of 4 years, he had not given anyone or a penny of that period. The judge asked him, what is the fund? Why he had not given? Who is here? Who is he? He said he is O.P. Gupta. He said, is it wearing the VSM? Is it a medal? I said, yes. Then you can't get it. Why? Because okay, there was some fault. So he said, what is he? He said, he has simple written only 4 lines. He had written only 4 lines. Where the record he had recorded. Then in 4 years, before the honorable judge, both the party failed. Both the party, not single, both the party, claimant as well as department, failed to decide the case in a year, which was a justified period. And they have taken 4 years, even they have not decided it. Hence, the collision of both the parties cannot be ruled out and no interest is allowed for them. No interest is allowed for the period for 4 years. And it was accepted by the court. Court said yes. He has given the reason. And again, another case, one of the cases which I see recently given in the beginning of the 2020, when the corner started. There the claimant was raised 20 crores. It was big for a local body. The case was regarding Delhi Municipal Corporation, where I was also a chief engineer. Ultimately, I was appointed. When I was appointed, it was everybody was saying how I have to decide in my own department 20 crores against him. My version is very clear. The arbitrator must be very honest and sincere. Whenever the claimant is coming with the advocate or not, if the arbitrator feels that he has a right, he must give him. He must give him, irrespective whether he has worked in the department or not. That's my version. But if you have no right, be honest, practically, even in the arbitration, some issues are where the arbitrator deviate and is wrongful. Number one, I told you, interest. He can give any period, nobody will challenge it. Because the award given by the arbitrator under the act is final. He can take any period, he can give any interest, 9%, 12%, 20%, 24%. Nobody will change. He can not only do this, he can give anything he wants. He can give the damages of any amount. Then, similarly, there was Uttar in a case of Jharkhand. I was reading one of the judgments of the High Court. The arbitrator, respected arbitrator, which was scheduled, he was there. He said, what should I do? The arbitrator gave the award of damages more than the name of amount of the claim. Under the Act, the court cannot do it because the award made by him is final. Made by him is final. So what should happen? There were no wrong. Ultimately, the High Court took one thing issue. He said, myself cannot change the award. I cannot interfere with the court under the provision of the Act. Then what should I do? It took very simple. Under public policy of India. He said, the award is set aside under public policy of India. The issue is very simple. Only 4 lines. Now we'll say what is public policy of India. It was a very good topic for me also. When I say I, it's CIAC, Construction Industry Arbitration Council. Our respected DG CIDC, Dr. P.S. Ru, who is also the member secretary of the Construction Industry Arbitration Council, ordered the CIAC to put up a paper. What is ultimately public policy of India? Let the people ask us. When they will start asking us, where we will stand. We made a paper. And we saw the public policy of India is nothing. It is the policy laid down by the public in the interest, laid down by the government in the interest of the public. How? You know, once what happened? After writing that paper, a problem came to us. It was from Anaz Mandi, food grain market. The problem was simple, but was also very high. And man agreed to export rice to the other countries at international level. The agreement was complete. Thereafter, Public Policy of India and India declared that no rice export to any country. It was not a problem. He cannot do it. That was the public policy of India. Immediately, the other party went to the international court. He said, how you are stopped by supply. Send it. International court passed an order. Yes, India should provide it. Now the question arises. When the public policy of India is very clear, the rice cannot be exported. How it can be exported? The man is troubled. He came to us. It was very simple for us because CIC, under the guidance of the DGCIDC, has studied the problems and we immediately gave a solution to them. Ask them in other countries also, whether Republica, USA, UK, France, Germany, anywhere. It is clear cut they are. If anything is against the privileges of India, the citizen cannot be allowed. And no penalty, etc. can be done. who took the stand. He took the stand himself that I can't do it because it is against the people of India. And even in your country, it is applicable. He was exonerated from all the damages. So my version is that arbitration is not so simple and it is not so difficult. I say, people say in litigation, nothing is impossible. Everywhere. Anybody wants to say, ask anyone all the question or afterwards. I will hear it. And if any want to leave it, please leave it silently without disturbing any others. Okay. So immediately it was done in favor. So arbitrator, if he is trained by our CIAC, we can say he cannot be failure anymore. Even our fees are very nominal. But leaving aside, I'll proceed further. Then, when 2015 Act was there, and we say that it was one thing very important. They put clause section 12, which says who can be the arbitrator, what relation will be there, and it was also decided. It was totally complete. I say, even the time bound was there. Within 1 hour, you have to decide. If you do not decide it within 1 hour, then 6 months can be taken more by the arbitrator with the consent of both the party. If both the party agrees, 6 months can be extended. And after that, no time can be extended. No time can be extended. And if you will go to the court can extend it. And if it's the arbitrator is at fault, then what they will do it? They will say 5% arbitration fee per month will be paid less as required under the law. So it is not only 5% reduction in fee, it is a remarks on his skill, on his reputation. Number two, if you decide the fault is in the fault of the contractor, then he will be at fault. Now you come to others. Please have a silence. Then you have to do it. Now what happened? In the case of 20 crores, when I decided, I wrote in there only 3 lines. Please keep it silence. Please keep it silence. No talks. It causes a disturbance to others also. Then what happened? I said only within 3-4 lines that there is a fraud made by the claimant. A claimant has raised 18 crores without any genuine claim. Without any genuine claim. He went to the court. Please stop, please stop. Please, organization may see there is no disturbance. It is coming up. Please stop. Ultimately, what happened? The court said, no, arbitrator has clearly stated it is fraud. You prove it is not fraud. I have proved it. It is fraud, it means it is fraud. So like that, you are only to see the arbitrator is a competent. But all these things are there. Then why 2019 have come up? The question is very simple. The question asked why 2019 arbitration was come up of when 2015 Act was there. The question was very serious. Our DG CIDC, Dr. P.R. Swarup ordered the CIAC study it and give the reply to the others who are raising this issue. That after all, what is there? Why it has been changed? It was really very important to reply it, to study it. We prepared in 2019, which is the latest Arbitration Act. My today topic is only this. After all, why the government of India is going very fast in changing the arbitration law and law? The question is simple. The government of India wants to have more international arbitration to be held in India, not in other countries like UK, Germany, Singapore, etc. Because we are more competent than anybody else in the world. Our arbitration is very competent. We are only trying to have a arbitration law at par with the international, rather not only at par, above the international level. And we are succeeding. That is why we saw to have a critical analysis of the arbitration and conciliation and place the facts before the arbitration. This act was also brought out by the government of India on 30th August 2019. When this Arbitration Act was brought out, in the Act itself, there was clear-cut instruction that certain section, while notifying the President of India, gave the power that while notifying, if the government of India wants certain section of the Act, they can detain it. The section of the Act which are notified were very simple. Section 1 was notified. Section 4 to 9 was notified. Section 11 to 13 was notified. Section 5 to 15 was notified. When I say sections were notified, what were those sections? What were those sections which were being notified? These are not the sections of the 2015 Act. Or I can say of the section relating to 1996 Act. Of the principle, which is known as the Principal Act. It was the section which was given under the Act of 1939. Now I will tell you what are these acts and why it was held up. The Arbitration and Conciliation Act bill was there before the Lok Sabha, and it was on the Rajya Sabha passed it on 18 July 19. Thereafter, 2019 Act is intimated, attended to fix the loopholes created by the arbitration and conciliation. I'm telling you what the loopholes. The loopholes were Arbitration and Conciliation Act was notified actually on 9th August by the President. But it was only the law ministry. They notified it on 30th August. And in this, they detained certain sections. Section 2 and 1 of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act provides the provision to the law ministry to detain the section which they want to detain. Now, what are those sections which were detained? You know, the central government, by exercising the power, detained certain sections. And sections which are notified were section 1, 4 to 19, 11 to 13, and 15. Now, what is the section of this act in pursuance of the above notification? Section 17, 23, 29A, 34, 37, 45, and 15 of the Arbitration Act 1996 was amended. Now, when I say 1996 Act, it is Principal Act. Those Principal Act sections were amended. Figures Act 17, 23, 29A, 34, 37, 45, and 50. What are those acts? I will explain. Now, new sections were added. What was in the Principal Act? They were 42A, 42B, and 87. They were standing inserted in the Act. Now, what is 87 Act? 87 Act is that which states that the Act of 2015 will effect from 23rd October with a view to clarify the applicability of set cut-off date of arbitration and related proceedings. Exercising power under Section 1(2) of the Act, the central government. What the central government did? When I say central government, the law ministry. What they detained it? Section 2, Section 3, Section 10, Section 14, and Section 16, which leads that these sections are not operative. Why they were not operative? That was the main cause, because there is written there that a international body will be made. Till that they were related to international body. Till the international body is notified, they cannot be operated. Hence they were detained. Therefore, provision of these acts are discussed in two parts. Now, in the critical analysis, I am also discussing it in two parts. One is Section 1, 4 to 19, 11 to 13, and 15, which have been stand notified. And those Section 2, 3, 10, 14, 16 of the amended act, which are not operative. And till date, they are not operative. Now, I tell you, the committee has been constituted, and very shortly they will integrate it. What is the main difference between these 29? Why does it differently come up? What was the need of that? The question is very simple. International law installed United Nations international trade laws, where Construction Industry Arbitration Council is the only organization, arbitral institution, which is member of that as the observer. Not only that, institutional arbitration is one of the notified construction industry. Law Ministry has been notified Law Ministry, construction industry on 21st August 1970 to deal with the online or conventional method arbitration. This is the only one of the notified institutional arbitration, which was our institution was inaugurated on 15th November 2006 by the Honorable then President of India, APJ Abdul Kalam. So it is not a body, it is just unregistered. It is a private body. We have taken the arbitration law training. Even we have gone to Bhutan to train the arbitrator. And we have trained them 28 arbitrators. It was a 3-day workshop. We prepared them. Not only that, we are called upon by various organizations within India, and we go there. Government department go and train them. We train through workshop, online, and everywhere. Now the question arises, we are only looking after not the arbitration to ensure that India should become the International Institutional Arbitration Act. We have started courses for students. The students from first year of the law graduate up to the studentship for law, engineering, MBA, or any course whosoever may be there. Then we have a student chapter. We take them with a nominal fees of 1,500 and as a registration fee and nothing more. Daily student, he may be MTech, he may go for PhD, he will be considered a student. But once he is out of study, he come to us, whatever we have taken, 1,500, we will return it. We will return it to him as soon as he will attend our course. And by the time he is a student, all the free seminars he will avail it. Not only that, and our paid, he will get the 10% discount for that also. So, what is the aim? The aim is to create the student from the first class. The people say, how you can do it? The days have gone. When we were starting English, only after primary class. There were no class. Today, from first class, from nursery even, from KG even, the students are entering in this. And now the student, when he's a student of 10th year, he knows better in IT rather than our people who have retired like us. So now I'm dealing with this. The section which was allowed, I am dealing with it. One section, section 4 is very clear. Interim measure ordered by the arbitrator. What is section 4? Section 4 is the section of the 2019. Whereas of the Principal Act, which is of 1996, it is an interim order. Interim relief, interim measures, earlier in 1996 is not allowed. It was not allowed. Whereas it was allowed under section 9 to the court. Court can give the interim order, interim relief. Now, under section 17, the section 4, which is allowed, is of section 17 of the interim bill. Now the competent. What is the difference of the court order and the difference between the interim order? If the court make any order prior to start of the arbitration as an interim, it is within 60 days he has to hold the arbitration, he has to come to the arbitration, then arbitration will examined 55. In under section 17, the arbitrator full. One thing is very, this should be noted. The arbitrator must not give the arbitrator award. Interim award, there is a difference between the interim award and there is a difference between the interim issue. If the interim award is made, then once the award is made, then arbitrator, that award cannot be changed by him. Whereas interim measure can be changed at the time of the final award. So he has to take one thing. Second, we come to this section 5, the time limit. Time limit for fighting. Time limit for filing statement of claims and defense was 23 under 20 section 23. 23 and 4. For the statement of claim and defense under this section shall be completed with a period of. Now, section 4. Previously, there was nothing wrong. Anybody can claim, file the claim as and when is required. Anybody can file the counterclaim as and when required. No, that is not there. The Act has stated the claims and counterclaim must be filed pleading, known as pleading on behalf of the parties must be completed within 6 months. In 2019, this year, loophole which was there earlier in 2015, it has been blocked. That parties have to file it within 6 months. Secondly, what happens? There was a 12-month period. It was done. Now the arbitrator has a sufficient time. After the pleading is there, he can allow the oral agreement, he can allow the written agreement, or he can allow both these. It is sufficient time. And within a year, he has to complete it. He has 6 months with him. And thereafter, if there is something wrong, left out, both the parties if agrees, they can allow, he can complete it within 18 months. Not thereafter. Then the arbitrator will be caught because the arbitrator is a culprit. Why he can't hold the meeting day and night, daily? Who has stopped him? Why is running? Now the Act is also going to, they have said, they have deal the, have a argument daily instead of, but there is difficulties with the advocates. The advocates who are coming to the arbitration, they feel it a part-time job. They do not come in time. They say after 4 o'clock, we are busy in the course, and thereafter, after 4 o'clock, we can come in. 4 came in, they will come up 5 after 5, or Saturday or Sunday. Now here, the government is also considering. The arbitration course will be different. The people, advocate will be defined either to join the litigation or the arbitration. They'll come to the arbitration and full-time arbitration court will run. Arbitrator will also cannot say that I have no time. Since 10 o'clock up to 5 o'clock, he has to do the work. He can finish it. There's no difficulty. I have finished the cases within 4 months even, 6 months even, in the Act up to date. 2019 is very clear that in case the award is made within 6 months by the arbitrator, the fee will be increased. Fee will be decreased, both the parties will give him as an incentive. But there is no decision regarding what percentage fee will be increased. What percentage fee will be increased. And in the absence of that, when I decided a case within 4 months, nobody gave to me. They said it is said they make maize there, so we don't want to give you. Similarly, there is a section 6. What is section 6? Section 6 is time limit for making an award. I told you, 29th is the Principal Act, and in the Principal Act, it is there, and we can do it, which was earlier in 2015 Act. Again, we come to Section 7 of the Arbitration Act. What is 7 of the Arbitration Act? It is 7 is nothing but the limitation for challenging the award. Under Section 34, award is challenged. Now here, the award is to be challenged in 3 months. When I say 3 months, what do you mean by this? January, February, March. January, February, March. It is not like that. You have to decide it, and no allowed period will be allowed thereafter by any court under Section 34. Because within 3 months, it can be 90 days, it can be 92 days, it can be 91 days. That depends on the days which are coming in your life. Then Section 8, appealable orders. You can make the appeal thereafter, notwithstanding anything contained in any other law for the time being enforced, and appeal shall lie from the following orders. The Act this time has modified and has very clearly stated where the appeal can be made from the original decrees. The appeals are notwithstanding anything contained more than this, refusing to refer the party to arbitration under Section 8. Section 8 means the section of the Principal Act. If anybody has refused party to arbitration, they are not allowed, the court are not allowed. The appeal can be made under Section 37. Granting or refusing to grant any measure under Section 9. You know, under Section 9 is of the court interim relief. If anybody refused it, you can go for appeal under Section 37. And again, setting aside or refusing to set aside an arbitral award under Section. Appeal shall also lie to a court from an order of the arbitral tribunal. If the arbitral tribunal, there is something wrong in the order, you can have an appeal. Granting or refusing to grant an interim is under Section 17. Under Section 17, if arbitrator has not given us, then you can have appeal. One thing is very clear. Except these, no second appeal shall lie from an order passed in appeal under this section. But nothing in this section take away your right to go to the Supreme Court under the Constitution of India. One thing is very clear. The appeal point have been defined under Section 37. And beyond that, whatever the decision has been done in the appeal, no second appeal. You cannot go anywhere except under Constitution of India to the Supreme Court. Then Section 9 is there. What is Section 9? Section 9 is that they have added Section 42A and 42A and B. What is 42A? The 42A is this has been added in the Principal Act of the 1996. It states that arbitral institutions and parties to the arbitration have to keep all details pertaining to arbitration proceedings confidential. That is number one. They have to keep it confidential. Where its disclosure is necessary for the purpose of implementation, enforcement of arbitration. Under the Amendment Act, it is unclear if the provision based on confidentiality is limited only to arbitration proceeding or whether it also extends to arbitration related code prior to making the award. Now the question also arises. You have to keep it confidential, but only proceedings, not the award. It also provides that when an application for setting aside an award is made in the court can utilize the record of the arbitration tribunal for the purpose of establishing any party case. Then you have to give. Therefore, the confidentiality provision or amended may face some time embarrassment, which is to be seen and it will be decided, and they are not so difficult. Again, the 42B. What is 42B? 42B is protection to the arbitrator. The amended act has introduced a provision to protect the arbitrator against any proceeding filed against him or for any act done in good faith. If I have done anything, as you have said, in one of the cases, I said it in Crowley's fraud, no action can be taken against me. No party can go to the court against me. Whatever, whether I have done or wrong or right, in good faith, only court will decide it and nothing else. Then Section 11. Prima facie, enough for refusal to refer party to the arbitration. Section 45 of the amended rights are sought to bring about textual equivalent between the Section 8 and 45. What is 45? 45 is section under part 2 of the Arbitration Act. When I say Arbitration Act, it means 1996 Principal Act. Principal Act, whatever 8 has been given, 8 was power that you have to go for arbitration. Similarly, power has been provided under Section 45. Now Section 12. An appealable order, Part 250. Appealable orders. Now I am talking of the Part 2 because Part 2 is for international, foreign award. Now when I say foreign award, what do you mean by that? If the company is outside India and if one of the party citizen is also foreign, it is a foreign award, not otherwise. Otherwise it will be referred as domestic award. You will wonder. One, a party while making the agreement, they said that in case the award made by the domestic by an Indian arbitrator is not satisfied, the claimant will go for London arbitration center and get it settled. You would wonder, in that case, the arbitrator gave the nil award. The claimant eventually took it. I don't agree. He went to the London. What happened? London arbitrator gave not only the award, but the damages too. Now, what is the difference? Who is right or who is wrong? The arbitrator gave the award and he came to India for enforcement under part 2 of the Act. Our High District Judge failed to understand and he set aside the award. I don't agree. Our Indian arbitrator has given nil award. How the other arbitrator can give another award? How the other arbitrator gave? Give another award. Ultimately, it was decided that he should go to the High Court. He went to the High Court. High Court also rejected. He went to the full bench. Full bench rejected. He went to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court set aside. Then a bigger bench was the Supreme Court was referred. The bigger bench of the Supreme Court said the award may be implemented. Award made by the arbitrator of London be awarded. It was awarded in his favor. It was awarded in his favor. Because why it was awarded? The Supreme Court said both the parties have signed their agreement. According to the bill, no force was there. Why they have agreed it? However, it is wrong. It should not have been done. The parties should have seen to it. And even the law should have been there. It should be done. But here, it has not been done. Ultimately, we lost. Now, what we say? We say that whenever we have executed the agreement, we must see each and every clause. See such illegality are not conducted by the parties. So, Section 13. What is Section 30? Section 30 is the new section which has been added applicability of the Arbitration and Conciliation Amendment Act 15. Here it states that it will start implementation of 23rd. Clarification has been given, which may be accepted that 23rd October and it. Now here, Section 15 has also been notified. What is Section 15? It is nothing but Section 26 of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act, Amendment Act 2015. The 26th section has been omitted under Section 26 of the Arbitration Act 2015 has been omitted and shall be deemed to have been omitted with the effect from 23rd October 2015. It means whatever has been done now it becomes zero. Award made or whatever has been done, they stand zero. So this is a section can create a problem in the Indian law. Now I'm going to discuss the second part. Second part of the 2019 Act. The provision which has been held up. What are those? One is Section 2. Section 2 is nothing. It is there. Arbitration institution means an arbitral institution designated by the Supreme Court or the High Court. Whereas in the Act, it is mentioned that it will be made by the committee. Now, as the committee has not been formed, the Supreme Court cannot regulate. So this section has been held up. The day section is released, nobody will be ad hoc arbitrator or will be institutional. It will be just like court. The people will come to us, ask us, please decide our case. They will not go anywhere. We will not ask them. They cannot go to the court. They have to come to us. Section 3. Section 3. 11. It is Section 11 of the Principal Act. And what is Section 11? It is appointment of arbitrator. That has been held up. No institution is there functioning. No appointment can be made. Why it has been held up? Because all the arbitrators who is ad hoc, they will have to pass and apply and approved by the law ministry. Till they are done, and that will be only done when it is recommended by the committee. And the committee, now I may inform you, it has been constituted and it can be done. Then we come to another section. 11 is there, and after that, we come section 10. What is section 10? It's a new section which has been adopted. And it has section 43A to 43M. Now, these all sections are included under section 10. Now, section 10, it is there. Arbitration Council of India. Arbitration Council of India is to be constituted. Now, till this Arbitration Council of India is constituted, nothing can be done. All powers are with them. And the power, that committee has been now constituted and it will be done. Section 14, it is a new act. It is scheduled 8th and section is 43J. Here, the qualifications have been laid down of the arbitrator, qualification and experience. You will say this issue was raised by CISC also because the qualification laid is 10 years of engineer, of law graduate, MBA, anybody can be arbitrator. We raised this issue to the law ministry and through a seminar, recommendations that 10 years is nothing. 10 years, nobody can do it. Nobody can understand it. It is better instead of 10 years. We have 25 years for an arbitrator till he is mature, fully knowledge. So now this schedule was also not acceptable at international level and it has now been withdrawn by the law ministry. Now I will tell you, now it has been withdrawn. How it has been withdrawn, I am coming up. Again, after that, there is a schedule, fourth schedule. And the fourth schedule is nothing, it is only the schedule covers, fourth schedule covers only the fee. People were taking fee according to the wish Now the government of India has fixed the claim amount, the counter amount, and the rates will lay down, and you take the figures. With the remarks, section Act 29 is over, and after 29, now after 29 section, you know the government of India did not do it. They brought another section, amendment further in 2019. What was that? The Amendment Act was 2021. Why the 2021 has been brought up? It was notified on 11th March 2021 and it is with effect from 4th November 2020. The date of issue of the ordinance. Now I am going to close it very shortly within 10 minutes. Please bear it for 10 minutes and then thereafter I would like to have a question, all your question, whatever is there. Then what was the act? Why after all? There was need of that because it was brought out that there are certain arbitrators who make the award and it is there. The award will be adopted as and when it is adopted. The award are contained based on fraud agreement. The award are based on fraud evidence. How to check it? The amendment is there that in case any award, if the court feels is based on agreement or evidence or arbitrator totally in contradiction of the rules and regulation laid down, it will not automatically be implemented, be enforced. It will be stopped till further it is examined. Earlier, what was happened after that March 2001? Anybody can go to the court and it was implemented. Now it will not be implemented. That is there. I'm only 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes I'm taking the award was there. So these are the steps the government of India has taken. Why the government is changing? Because they are taking the to make it international institutional. Now I leave it to you because I want you to give your questions and queries. And I will ask the organizer, Pratibha, you take over and ask them the questions so that their disturbances also stop from their side and they can put any question they like on our. Pratibha, you take over, ask them, put any question. Pratibha, you are hearing me?
Sorry, sir, Sakti not here.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir. Any question? Anybody?
Any question?
Any
I'm
question?
here to reply.
Any question?
Please ask any question, any query, any clarification
No, sir. Thank you.
about CMC or anything.
No, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, I have a question. Hello, sir. I have a question.
Told me,
Sir, actually, just like a court judge follows the Indian Penal Code for rules and regulations, what does the arbitrator follow for rules and regulations for the judgment?
you know, arbitrator is the final authority. If he is competent to know, he can deal with all these situations. Orders of the court are not there. It is the arbitrator only here to make the award. Once the arbitration is started, the court cannot stop it. The court cannot interfere nowadays. Now suppose I am an arbitrator. A case has been referred to me. I will till I decided nobody can do it. I may tell you once. Once there was arbitration was going on, and after the meeting, as a courtesy, I was having a tea for all. And when everybody was taking tea, both the parties, I asked the respondent, who was belonging to my own department, I asked him that my grandson, Dr. Sanis, has taken the internship for 2 months. Please give him the your engineer in chief is going out of India. Ask him to sign the paper before going. Immediately, I got on the next day 8 page note that I should resign because it is against. Though it was not during the arbitration, it was beyond the arbitration. In a very simple way, I told him that he had taken, and they said no. Ultimately, you have not to agree. Be bold and replied, I have not resigned. I replied in, he gave in 6 pages, I gave in 8 pages about. I made a clearance on the next immediately, saying that he had no right. I cannot remove, I cannot resign from this. It is a matter. He cannot influence me. He is a student, and a student cannot influence me. Under the Act, I gave the reference of the Act. I gave the reference of the code. Ultimately, I said, who can do it till you are competent? One thing more, there is section 16 of the Act, where I can rule my own judgment. Again, whatever is coming, I can rule everything. There,
Okay, sir.
one thing, there, there, the party, when I am giving the order, the party can say, no, please pass the order under 16th article. If I pass under section 16, then it can be opened in court to clear it whether I was wrong or right. But if he is not asking me, then whatever I have done, that is right, nobody can stop. Arbitrator is a full judge, provided he is intelligent, competent, and he knows the rules and regulations. That is why we impart training to the students also, so that they are engineer, they are law graduate, they go to the field for employment, they don't get it. If they say, I know the arbitration, then immediately construction industry will adopt him. Say, okay, you get it. Because disputes are more. Skill development is there. So with these remarks, I again any question हमारे बीजी पी आर जैन साहब आगे सुन and he
Thank
is
you, sir.
one of
Okay,
our
sir.
any
Thank you, sir.
points any points जैन साहब हमारे intelligent है and he is the superior man of our industries.
Thank you, sir.
Any question? Pratibha, you ask them any
Sir,
question they want?
okay. Any question? Sir, no any question.
If they have question, then the organizer organization may decide further.
Sir, I have a request.
One thing, okay.
Sir, if anybody does not have any question now, they can also later on they can send the question and then
Yes,
we can answer
yes,
them.
they can send it here to my email, CIAC. They can send to my email, CIAC June 2006 @gmail.com. Or they can send it to PK Mishra ji and I will get it and reply it. Anybody, any points from the organizers? हमारे दुबे साहब भी तो थे यहाँ पे.
Any question?
Now you taste the edition.
Sir, session close किया जाए sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you sir.